thanks to everyone for coming to the orientation session here. I think I mentioned my name is Alan Spirat. I'm a professor in the department and department chair, and nice to meet you. And I first want to say, I hope everyone's safe and healthy, and trying to keep your head up during what is a pretty remarkable time. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's definitely like not normal right now. So, but our department, we're going to do our best to make this as enriching and as beneficial to you as possible during this quarter. And so welcome. I'm going to start with a quick presentation that's just going to go over a little bit of the department and the faculty in the department and kind of what we do. And then I'll hand it back to Inga and Lisa and our peer advisors, Jacqueline and Joseph. And thank you both for helping manage everything. If you have questions, please throw them into the chat window, either to the hosts or to me or to others. And then we're going to compile those questions afterwards. And we might not get to all of them during the first session. We had about like 100 questions or something like that. So we're not going to get to all of them, but we'll answer all of them and post them afterwards and send you a link to that. Just to make sure that all your questions get answered. So if we don't answer your question, it's not because we didn't get it, it's because, try to that would be most general, most applicable to everyone. So anyways, thanks. Now I'm going to share my screen, big moment here, and I already started it incorrectly, so let's try that again. Can everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Person
yes.
Biking down campus. So obviously it's a little weird starting with this, but hopefully everyone will be there soon and able to do this, which is bike down campus after classes. The campus is extraordinarily beautiful, and we try to combine the natural beauty of UCSC with hopefully world-class instruction in economics and related fields. So I'll talk a little bit about our department today. So first of all, who am I? That's me with the selfie stick in the picture at our master's graduation from maybe about 5 years ago. And I'm an associate professor in the department and department chair. I did not grow up in California. I grew up in Michigan, where I got my degree in engineering at University of Michigan. And then something I'll stress to you as I'm going through this talk is that you want to try things that are new, that maybe weren't your original plan, and you never know where you might lead. And that's exactly how I ended up being an economics professor. So I did my degree, master's and PhD at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And then luckily for me, this was my first and only job out of graduate school. So I kind of landed the jackpot, hit the jackpot here. So in terms of what I do, I teach across a variety of classes, or at least I have in the past. I've taught Econ 113, that's the intro econometrics course. Kind of the follow-on to statistics that you might have taken elsewhere already. And I occasionally teach a class in management in the global economy. And as well, I teach in our 2 graduate programs, one of which, the master's program, I'll talk to you about at the end of this presentation. Our faculty in the department are kind of split into 2 groups, or 2 different types of faculty. One are more teaching professors that focus on teaching. They teach a lot more classes. They might teach a lot of professional classes, like in accounting and marketing and things like that. And then we have our what are called Senate faculty, or I like to refer to as research faculty, those whose jobs are both related to doing research and also teaching across their degree programs. And for me, my research area is international trade and policy. No doubt you've heard of the recent trade war we've been in for the last 3 years, and I'm an active researcher in that field. And I also focus on development economics, which I'll talk a little more about later, which is about understanding the determinants of poverty and what can be done to kind of bring people out of poverty around the world. Now, in terms of the department, we have 3 degrees, 3 primary degrees, a bunch of combined degrees, and kind of fast track programs. The biggest degree is our business management economics program, where you'll take the accounting. This is a question I got during the last session. You'll take an accounting or an economics core of classes like microeconomics, macroeconomics, econometrics, and then complement that in your elective and other choices with things like accounting, marketing, business strategy, things kind of focused on working in more of like a business area. That's our largest degree program. That's as close as we get to a business school on campus. And within it, we have an accounting concentration right now, where you can really start preparations for being a well-trained accountant and going for your CPA. Our other degree program is in economics proper, and and it's not to say it's not interesting. That's what, I study as well, but it's basically like, you take your same core economics classes and then you broaden into different subspecialties in economics, like labor economics, studying the determinants of inequality, international trade, studying the determinants of commerce across borders, macroeconomics, what do public policies or how do government actions affect the macroeconomy, things like unemployment, prices, things like that. And then we have, which is our smallest degree, and I always wish that it's a little larger, so you should always consider it, and that's global economics, where not, part of your degree program will be taking economics classes, but also taking electives that are more focused on understanding the global economy. And as a part of your degree program, you'll also learn a foreign language and study abroad, and that will help you meet your degree requirements. So it's a cool program. Not many people do it anymore, though. It's our smallest degree program by far. We have 2 combined degrees in economics and math. Economics and math is particularly important for people who might want to go into graduate school or might want to go into more technical areas of economics. And then economics and environmental studies. The department of record there is the environmental studies department. But that's the where you'd want to mix kind of the tools from economics and environmental questions. We also have 2 accelerated programs, a 3-year track for undergrad for those who want to get through here. That's more specific to those who are starting at the beginning. And we also have a program where we mix undergrad and a law degree from UC Hastings in an accelerated fashion. So if you're interested in any of those, I know you're coming in as transfer students, but still it's worth talking about if you're interested in it. In terms of graduate programs, we have a PhD program, which is kind of a longer 5 to 6 year program after your undergraduate degree. That's for people who are interested in research careers, whether it be in academia like me or at places like Facebook or Google, who hire a lot of PhD economists. And then we also have a 1-year master's program I'll talk about later, but you really want to think about this because this is a great opportunity to spend an additional year in Santa Cruz and improve your, increase your skills, especially in quantitative areas, which are in very high demand in the job market right now. Our faculty are very diverse. We come from 10 countries around the world, all regions in the U.S., and we study topics across a variety of fields. 2 of our faculty are actually undergrads from UCSC, right? So all of us are very committed to the school and our program, and we're all very accessible. I think that's one thing that I want to make very clear. It might be intimidating to go talk to a professor. I know when I was in college, I was just like, it's a very intimidating thing. But just send people an email when you're in their class, schedule office hours, head there. Everyone's nice and willing to spend time to talk to you about your plans and any questions you have in their courses and things like that. Just to give you an idea of what some of our faculty study, we basically have 2 areas in the department, which is a pretty good characterization of the field of economics itself. That spans from development economics, I mentioned it earlier, where it's more about studying the lives of those who are in poverty around the world and trying to understand policies that might help those individuals. And it goes into things like economics of education. Why are you coming to UCSC for school? You made a decision to go to UCSC over perhaps doing other things. And so, there's a whole field that studies, educational choices. We have experimental economics. Experimental economics is in a laboratory. Students, in a sense, play games against one another, but those games are designed both for the students to earn money, but also to understand economic principles and strategy amongst individuals. So we have a lab in the department that studies that. Health economics is studying, health outcomes and relationships to, socioeconomic conditions. And then in macroeconomics and finance, I'll jump down just to make sure I don't take too much time. And macroeconomics and finance is another very large area of our department, where we have people that study things from straight finance, like, high-speed trading, to international finance, like, exchange rates and across different countries and what that means for economic activity. And then I mentioned earlier, macro and monetary economics. The government can make decisions, and that's going to affect everything from your unemployment rate to the rate at which you borrow for a car or for a house, things like that. And so we have a lot of people who study these things in their research. I bring up all these research areas because those research areas naturally spill over into our teaching. And that's one of the greatest benefits of going to a UC, any of these Cs, ours is no different. where you get to study from folks who are actually out there in interacting with policymakers and influencing the decisions that governments and other actors make. And so I just wanted to give you a few examples of those in our department. A few years ago, we had an opportunity to have some of our students meet Janet Yellen, who's the former chair of the Federal Reserve Bank. She's also a professor at UC Berkeley. And so this was a cross-degree program. You know, there are many PhD students, undergraduates, master's students in this photo. And it was a great opportunity to learn from someone who at one point was probably one of the most powerful people in the world, extraordinarily humble, great to learn from, and it was just a really wonderful experience. We recently added to our faculty ranks Professor Glenn Hale, who worked at the Federal Reserve Bank in San Francisco for many years as a research advisor, which is a really high-ranked position. And she focuses on the connectedness of banks and individuals and businesses in the international economy and what that means for things that we care about, like unemployment. A screenshot of her giving an interview on CNN with Wolf Blitzer at one point about how we think about the when we purchase goods from China, how much of each dollar that we purchase actually goes back in the hands of U.S. Workforce or asset owners and things like that. So it's great to have her here. Carlos Dobkin, he's one of the earlier that undergraduate at UCSC, and he followed that with his PhD at UC Berkeley. And he studies health economics broadly, but he also is very well known for his work on studying the determinant of medical bankruptcies. You know, what happens if you get sick? How does it affect your personal finances? And he's written a number of very rigorous, detailed papers that even within the last year found their way into the Democratic primary debate. So that was pretty interesting and also great for him and for the discussion of our policy, because he does really rigorous work that people can use to make better decisions. Professor Laura Giuliano is another fairly recent addition to our department. We're glad to have her here. She's also the director of our master's program. And she had the honor of serving for President Obama on his Council of Economic Advisors from 2015 to 2016. This is, the most prestigious, position for academics to influence policy. And she had a chance to work there under the last year of his administration. And she studies, one forward, and let's go back there. She studies, inequalities in education and in labor markets. And then finally, in terms of development economics, we have Professor John Robinson. He's the one on the right. I'm the one in the middle. And then on the far left is one of our graduate students who had an opportunity to work in the field. This is a picture from Malawi. He uses what are called randomized control trials, which is basically like a medical trial, and where instead of giving a medicine, you're providing like a service or like things like a bank account or an injection of cash or something like that. And using those to study rigorously the determinants of poverty all across the world, as well as policies that can help lead folks out of poverty. So with that, I just want to give you a little advice. This is advice I give to everyone. And I think it's really important to think about, you're here, you've joined UCSC. We look forward to seeing you in person again, hopefully as soon as it's safe to do so. But regardless where you are and regardless what you're doing, I think this is the opportunity for you to take classes that are in your interest area. You should be passionate about something. Obviously, you want to get a degree in a relatively efficient amount of time. You don't want to spend 10 years here taking classes that interest you. But I think you can take classes that interest you that help you get your degree in like an efficient amount of time. And so this is the time to really get passionate about your studies and find your passion and where you can enter the workforce, focusing on that. And so don't be afraid to try new things. That's, I guess, the bottom line. Related to that, when you try new things, there are often going to be bumps in the road. And, college is really about this. And you know this already, transferring from other institutions, but it's no different here. I put failing in quotes because you don't want to fail literally, but you know, you want to try new things, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But that's okay. You know, that's what life is all about, and that's how you learn. You know, no one is perfect, and anyone who tells you that is lying. So just make sure you try new things, and you know, I think you'll really get the most out of college experience when you do. You know, you're focused on something, but you allow yourself to find your passions or to take chances on things that you might be passionate about. Lastly, specific to economics, if you're ever on, you know, on the fence about which way to go, take more empirical classes and programming. Okay, by doing so, you're going to be setting yourself up much better for the job market. The world is definitely going in that direction. And you know, you're here at an economics orientation. You don't have to be an engineer to be a data expert. Our classes will teach you rigorous techniques in the empirical sciences. And you know, our faculty, myself included, we use all the latest techniques in our research. So we're always happy to talk about what we do and new things we're learning. And so on top of the coursework, I think it's a great place to not only become an economist, but become one that is you know, really quantitatively driven and has a great set of empirical tools. Lastly, you know, this is more closely down the road for those who are transferring, and definitely think about our one-year master's program. You know, I think it's a great opportunity for those, and I'm a bit biased. Not only I'm the department chair, but I ran the master's program for about 6 years before I became department chair. And it's a great program. It's 1 year. It's intense, but it's a great way to improve your analytical and quantitative skills and coding skills beyond your undergraduate coursework within an economics context. People use this to kind of prepare for other graduate programs that they're interested in doing. They also do it just for the sake of improving their ability to get a great job in the workforce. And it's also great for people who want to stick around Santa Cruz for another year, and there's no shame in that because Santa Cruz is a wonderful place to be. So the tuition is totally reasonable. So just keep an eye out for informational events. For most of you who are coming in as transfer students, the time you would apply would be not this year, but it would be the next fall. So it would be fall 2021 if you're interested in this. But you should definitely keep it in mind. There'll be a lot of informational events for it, and I think it's a great opportunity. We were lucky enough to allow people to have a really long application window once the pandemic started, and so that was a great opportunity for those who, you know, like all of us, our lives changed, you know, immediately. But then people were able to stick around for another year and take some more classes while hopefully things settle down and the job market kind of sorts itself out. So we think it's a great option. So anyways, I'll leave you with a picture, aerial view of campus. If you haven't been here, it's, again, you know, arguably the most beautiful place in the world to study. We look forward to seeing you here sometime soon, and I'll keep my fingers crossed for that sooner rather than later. So thanks, and I'll hand it over to Inga and Lisa if she's back on, and others. And I'll stick around to take your questions, and I'll be in the chat window and here to interject where it's helpful. So thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Ellen.
I'm gonna change things.
Lisa's back.
I am back. Yeah, no. I'm gonna change things up real quick. Jasmine, do you feel like you have time to go first? Because I know she has to go to another meeting.
Yes, I can jump in.
Go for it.
Okay, hey everybody, my name is Jasmine. I am another member of your econ department team, and so I'm here to talk about field study. So my official title is Economics Professional Development Coordinator, so I'm of course available to speak with you about any career or professional development topics that are on your mind. I always have office hours for that. Shoot me an email. But in terms of field study, essentially all it is just interning for academic credit. Which is great, you know, check. You can, you know, get credit for an internship. You can also satisfy your PR-S requirement, which I believe will be talked about in a little bit more detail later in the presentation. Just know that field study can satisfy that pretty easily for you. And in general, internships are really great to have under your belt, especially once you start looking for full-time jobs. And so right now you don't necessarily have to worry about that because you're just starting, but eventually it's going to come up, and having an internship will make your life a lot easier. So for field study, hopefully it will allow you also a sneak peek into what a lot of offices, how they function, help you build some relationships and build that network of yours. Certainly it'll get something on your resume. So a lot of great stuff for field study. Whether or not you intern with field study is just generally a great idea. And also we will have some orientation/info sessions coming up in a few weeks. Just in week 3, I believe. We do have signups available to attend if you have any further questions, since it's just a very quick little presentation. And so just really quick, to know if you're eligible, you will need to at least junior standing. So again, this is not going to be for a little bit, but junior standing, you need to be a declared econ major, and good academic standing, you need to have 3 foundational classes, 100A, 100B, and 113. And then of course, Lisa and Ingo will discuss that a little bit further in the presentation. And that's basically it. So you would be applying the quarter before you'd want to intern. So, let's just say you were all magically juniors right now. You wouldn't be able to do a fall internship right now. You'd have to apply in fall for winter. And so, again, in any specific questions about the application process and the timeline, you are welcome to attend, even, oh, well, this is transfer actually. So you probably are juniors. I just had that thought. So actually, a lot of you probably might be eligible. It really, I think for your case, it depends on if you've taken 100A, 100B, 113. I will say at the time of your application, you can have taken 2 out of the 3 classes, so long as you finish the 3rd before you start your internship, because again, you would be applying the quarter before you intern. Actually, this is probably should be straight on your radar. I'm just having this realization. So definitely come see me at an orientation session. I think, there is plenty of time for you to fit in an internship, even with the relative limited time you have left in college. And so if this sounds interesting to you, if it sounds useful to you, orientation, I always have office hours. Feel free to come to any of my office hours. We can set up an appointment as well. So, let me know if you have questions. I'm always happy to chat about field study, and nice to meet you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ask the team to bear with me. I'm going to change things up a little bit. I want the peer advisors just to introduce themselves quickly, again, briefly, so that we don't run out of time. Your name, your major and major minor if you're double major, and then your class level. And we'll go ahead and start with Hannah.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm an econ major with a stats minor, and I'm a senior.
Thank you. Chloe. Chloe, are you there with unmute? Okay, maybe not. Courtney.
Hi, I'm Courtney. I'm going to be a senior this year, and I'm a BME major and a TIM minor.
Great. Jacqueline.
Hi everyone, I'm Jackie. I'm a senior and I'm a business major with a focus in accounting.
Great. And do we have Sebastian yet? I didn't see him. No Sebastian. Okay. Joseph.
Hey guys, I'm currently a senior and a double major in business management, economics, and sociology.
And he's one of our leads as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tim.
Hi everyone, my name's Tim. I'm a 5th year BME and Technology and Information Management double major.
Thank you. Scott.
Hello, my name is Scott. I am a 4th year Business Management Economics major.
Thank you. Alexis.
Hey, I'm Alexis. I'm a 4th year econ major.
And then Jacqueline Ye.
Hi, I'm Jackie. I'm a 4th year BME major, TIM minor.
Great. Perfect. Thank you. So we'll be talking about the peer advising program a little bit later, but I wanted to make sure that you all knew that you have resources. So in case Inga and I are too scary to reach out to, you're welcome to reach out to all of our peer advisors. They have firsthand experience on taking the classes anyway, and not us. So we'll go ahead and get started. Joseph, can you make that full screen? Thank you. So this is our building in case you haven't been on campus, which most of you probably haven't unless you're being housed on campus. We're located in Engineering 2 on the 4th floor in room 401. It's a beautiful building when we get to be there. Go ahead, Joseph. I'm going to talk briefly about these majors. So as you know, we have 3 distinct majors, which Alan talked about: straight economics, business management economics, and global econ. We also have 2 combined majors, economics and mathematics, which our department administers, and then environmental studies and economics. The environmental studies department actually administers that major, but we're your resource on the environmental studies side. We also have, as Alan mentioned, now a concentration in accounting for business management economics majors, and anyone can add this concentration. So Jacqueline, I haven't told her yet, but if she wanted to, since she's done the accounting and she's doing the accounting route, she can actually change her, we can change her coding to reflect the accounting concentration so that if she went to meet the firms or any accounting fairs, it would show up on her transcript. So that's a benefit of having the concentration. It does not change your degree. You still have a business management economics BA degree, but it reflects differently. Go ahead, Joseph. So as you know, is coming in for as a transfer student, you're screened prior to being admitted to UCSC unless you've fallen through the cracks. All of our junior transfers have to meet the combined 2.8 GPA in our major in order to declare the major officially. So the difference with transfers is if you don't meet this GPA, you don't have a chance to appeal because you're screened specifically on meeting that. So hopefully everyone in this meeting meets that criteria, and you can declare any time, but no later by winter 2021. So don't wait to declare. Inga and I, as well the peer advisors, are here to help you plan out your 2 years or 3 years. Some are sophomore transfers. We can help you plan out your schooling and then get you right on the road and not get blocked for enrollment. Okay, go ahead. The core is essentially the same for all of our majors. The econ math's a little bit different. One more, Joseph, for econometrics. There you go, perfect. So you've all come in with the intro to micro, intro to macro, and at least probably your first quarter of calculus, if not some more. Most of you have come in with stats as well. If not, you'll be taking stats prior to econometrics. And then 3 courses that Jasmine talked about as far as being eligible for field study is the intermediate micro 100A, intermediate macro 100B, and econometrics 113. She doesn't know it, but obviously you haven't taken those courses before unless you're a special student transferring from a 4-year institution. But you'll be taking those 1 per quarter. We don't want you combining them. And those are also prereqs to most of your upper division electives that you'll be taking. So those need to be complete before you participate in a field study, but you can apply while you're in your 3rd course, depending on the order that you take those. Okay, go ahead. Next slide. Some of you may have come in with AP exam scores, and we've recognized those. Excuse me. We recognize a 4 as a B internally and a 5 as an A in the list of courses, the micro, macro, stats, and calculus. So we can't make those scores compute in your GPA, but internally, as far as declaring, we use those to declare you. And they also substitute all of those courses so that you don't have to retake them. The system allows you to retake them. I don't know why you would, unless you want to freshen up on stats. Might not be a bad idea, or depending on where you are with your calculus. Go ahead, next slide. Oh, questions. So Jacqueline hopefully has been keeping track of some questions. We'll take a few. Go ahead, Jacqueline. Do you have any?
Sorry, I was on mute.
That's okay. That's okay.
I have a couple. Explain the process of declaring and academic planning.
Okay. So we have a page on our website, and we've updated most recently. All you have to do is reach out to Inga and I, Econ Youth Grad Corps, or to our individual email, doesn't matter, and say, hey, Lisa and Inga, I'm ready to declare. What's the process? If it's not clear on our website, we'd be happy to walk you through it. We're going to refer you to our peer advisors. They're going to help you with the planning, because there's certain courses that we don't want you combining within a specified quarter. There are courses you have to take here at Santa Cruz, and we have a method to our madness and hope that you trust us to not allow you to take too much on at one time. So we'll walk you through the process. Then they will refer you to send us your forms. Inga and I will do a final review, sign off, and actually code you as declared. And then we'll send you copies of your forms. So it's pretty painless. It's helpful for us if you take a look at the courses that we offer, both on the business management and economics elective list, as well as the econ elective list. Because if you then come and say, hey, Lisa, I'm interested in economic development with John Robinson, when can I take that? Or if I know you're interested in that, I'll make sure that it's lined up in your plan when we typically offer it, which is not guaranteed, the same quarter every year, but at least you'll have it in your plan for when you meet the prerequisites for that course. So if you have an opportunity, maybe this week or this weekend, it's going to be a busy week, I know, just to kind of look at the courses and let us know what you're interested in, we can make sure that it's in your plan correctly. Specifically, the accounting concentration, they're only offered once a year in very specific quarters. Some are sequential and prereqs to others. So that would be helpful for us to know too, you're interested in the accounting. So it's a pretty simple process.
We also offer the declaration sessions that you can attend.
Oh yeah, there's those. Those are actually listed on our website, and you can sign up for sessions. Our lead peer advisors will be leading those in conjunction with our other peers helping out planning, as well as me. So yeah, if you can sign up for a session, it's easier for us to explain the info all in one group sitting versus 1,600 times separately. So.
And then so some more questions we have. When can we declare, and how do we know that we're ready to declare?
You are ready. You, as Lisa said, you were screened by the admissions office for meeting the 2.8 GPA between Econ 1, 2, and that first calculus, and that's what's required to declare. So all of you should be qualified. So you can do this at any time.
Yeah, and I would say look at the session schedule and sign up. Sign up for the first session if it works within your schedule. If not, if the sessions none of them work for you, email us and we'll set you up with a peer advisor independently.
And then we have, how would field study work if quarantine continues?
So currently field study is still happening. There are businesses that are able to have students work remotely. So not all of our companies are able to do that. You would be given, after you've applied, once you complete 100A and 100B at least, you'll apply to the program. Once Jasmine screens you, clears you, you'll get access to our database, which will be hopefully the database with active businesses in the quarantine. I haven't been in there in a while, but you'll apply, search, apply, and they'll contact you. So again, not all companies are able to do remote internships, but we do have internships that went on during spring, as well as that are happening in fall. So Jasmine's your best point of contact for all field study questions. It's just econintern@ucsc.edu, and that's also on our website. One more question, Jacqueline, and then we should continue.
I'm trying to pick I have a question regarding the field study application. I'm planning to take Econ 113 in spring. Would I apply for the fall, and is that available?
Yes, so if you're completing 100A, 100B, 113 this academic year, you can apply at the beginning of spring. So get your application in, I would say, by week 1 or week 2 at the latest. Because if you're applying for fall, all those students within that cohort will get access second week or third week of instruction. The method behind that madness is that allows you 6 or 7 weeks to search the database, apply, interview, and secure it before fall quarter begins. You could also apply at the very beginning of spring for a summer internship, and summer's a little bit different, but Jasmine can also walk you through that process. It's the same application process. It just works a little bit differently. Yeah. Okay. So we'll go ahead and continue and keep track of questions. Inga.
Yeah, so one of the more confusing things about UCSC are the two math departments. So there's one math department that's part of the physical biological sciences division. Their courses are math 11A, 11B, and 22, and math 19A, 19B, and 23A. And then there's an applied math department that's part of the School of Engineering, and they offer our specific calculus courses that basically are focused on applications in economics. So that's AM, Econ, 11A, and B. So this is another complication, is that that course is cross-listed, which means that it's offered as both applied math and econ. If you go to the class search, the econ side only has 10 students, and the applied math side has usually 150 to 200. So you want to sign up for the applied math. So currently the course AM11B is waitlisted. So none of you should be taking any first calculus courses, so Econ 11A, Math 11A, 19A, because that's part of your screening criteria. So you just want to get the math finished so that you can move on to 100A. So finishing the calculus is really important, so that you can take 100A, which in turn is a prereq to most upper division electives. So without that 100A, your elective choices will be very limited. Yeah, and the difference is that the math series usually require 3 calculus, whereas the applied math 11A and B only are 2 quarters of calculus. So you've been in touch with us. You should have heard from us in terms of what to take, and we probably recommended AM11B for most of you. And Math 22 is only offered in winter quarter anyway. Okay, so maybe next slide. So there was one slide about Kresge 25. That's
Go back.
It's a course specific, it's a 2-unit course specifically designed for transfer students to ease that transition to UCSC. One of the things that transfer students are often missing is that social network, and the Kresge 25 is a great way to meet other transfer students. It should be a super easy class, and 12 and more units qualify you for financial aid. So you would be full-time students. So especially if you're taking that calculus course or even 100A, both of those are challenging courses in fall quarter, and you want to lighten the load. You don't want to, you know, pile all these difficult courses in one quarter, because you still need 180 units. So you will be taking courses that are not necessarily related to your major, and you just want to, in the interest of keeping a good GPA, spread out your load. So we don't recommend more than 2 economics courses per quarter, usually second final calculus course, AM11B, and then we're offering 2 electives that only require Econ 1 and 2 as a prereq, and that's Econ 125 and 126. And if you've taken the introductory accounting courses, 10A and 10B, you would also qualify for 111A and 117B. Both of those courses still have seats. Both 125 and 126 are currently waitlisted. Yeah, and then Kresge 25 as a potential 3rd course. Econ 100A if you've already completed the calculus, and then possibly an upper division econ or BME elective. So the econ elective would be 125 or 126, and the BME elective would be 111A, 111B. and then maybe Kresge 25. If you don't have IGETC, which means that you would have all your GEs done except for the DC, you could also be taking a GE requirement as your third course. So that would also be a good choice. You can find listings of GEs, and you're probably gonna have to make a guess if you don't have IGETC, which GEs you might be missing. So the admissions office will only be able to enter that information sometime in the fall quarter. Okay, so here we have, the different sections of Kresge 25. They are basically divided into the different divisions. Economics is part of social sciences. So section 4 and all major section 7, and then another social sciences cohorts, section 8. So the system will recognize what your proposed major is and will only let you enroll in those specific sections according to your proposed majors. Maybe next slide. So we have a number of student groups that are associated with the economics department. And that's also a great way of making connections to other students, potentially also have study groups, and again, build that professional network that's so important for getting a job after graduation. So do we still have time for quick intros for the different groups?
Yes, and I would just ask that the student groups, just for time-wise, that you just recognize a brief introduction. So Alpha Kappa Psi, Alpha Kappa Psi. Are you still here?
Hello, yeah, I'm here. Is there a way I could share my screen?
Yeah, Jacqueline, can you do your magic?
Yeah, hold on, sorry. Who's speaking? Sorry, could you say something?
It's Sanyukta.
Okay, thank you. There you go.
Thank you. Let me share it really quickly. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. So hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. My name is Sanyukta and I'm the Vice President of Professional Development of Alpha Kappa Psi here at UC Santa Cruz. So a little bit about our organization. Founded nationally in 1904, Alpha Kappa Psi strives to develop our members into principal business leaders. We now have over 298,000 initiated members at 219 universities in 4 countries. Throughout all of this, it has grown to be the oldest and largest business fraternity in the world. With an extensive network of alumni, our members are able to land opportunities at some of the most profitable companies in the world. And some of companies that our own Santa Cruz brothers work at include Apple, Uber, JP Morgan, Oracle, and more. Established on campus in 2018, we really try to prepare our brothers for a life of success and are the only business fraternity at Santa Cruz that accepts all majors. So if you're interested in building a legacy for your future, come out to our Rush events starting next week on October 8th. There is no obligation to join if you come to our Rush events, but to be considered for a bid, you do have to attend at least 2 of them. You can scan the QR code to get more details and to sign up for Rush. You can also visit our website and Instagram to stay up to date on all details and attend our cornucopia session today at 4:35 to get any of your questions cleared up before Rush. Hope to see you guys there, and if you have any questions, you guys can go ahead and ask.
Thank you. We'll take questions in the chat and we'll make sure they're perfect. How about Delta Sigma Pi?
Hi. So can I share my screen again?
Sure, Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have no controls over anything today. So
Okay.
our team is doing the back end work.
Okay. Hi guys.
All right. Hi guys, my name is Camilla. I'm a senior and I'm from Delta Sigma Pi at Santa Cruz.
I'm Ronnie and I'm a senior.
I'm Chris, I'm third year.
Oh, and we're Delta Sigma Pi, which is UCSC's oldest and largest co-ed business professional fraternity.
So as a professional organization, we encourage our members to strive to achieve more in their careers. Whether it's helping each other out in classes or pushing each other to pursue our dream careers, we're always here to support one another, no matter what happens. Speaking from my personal experience, when I came to college, I aspired to land a job at a Big Four accounting firm, and I had no idea where to start. However, a brother in the chapter guided me through the process of getting a job at PwC, which is one of the Big Four accounting firms I intended to work at. I actually interned there this summer, and it was a really good experience, and I recently signed a full-time offer to work there after graduating in 2021, and I could not have done this without the skills and mentorship I gained from DSP. We would love to offer similar guidance to prospective members of this organization, as it's gone a long way for us too.
Of course, as a professional business organization, we do a lot of professional development, but brotherhood is also a major pillar for us. Prior to COVID, we did a lot of bonding events with one another, such as brothers traveling abroad together, talking weekend bonding trips, and even keeping up with each other after graduating. And while we might not be able to do these exact same things this year, given the circumstances, we are still making a strong effort to stay connected. We still host weekly meetings, play online games with each other, and some of us are even still living together. Family is a big part of our organization, and you'll know as soon as you come to our first event when you meet all the active brothers.
And so we really want to highlight our recruitment week, which starts next Monday at 7 p.m. All going to be on Zoom right here. Please feel free to screenshot everything. And to be a qualifying member, you need to be a major of any economics major, so global economics, regular economics, business management, economics, also technology, information management, and CS majors. And so it starts on Monday, so please come out. We also offer virtual tabling starting tomorrow through our Zoom link. So if you have any questions, you can also hop on that link. We've also sent out a little blurb with all our social medias. We update them like every day, like with all our new information. So if you have any questions, just follow us on those platforms. You can also feel free to email us. And we'll also be here at Cornucopia today at 4:35 if you have any more questions that you would like to ask. Thank you. And thank you so much, Lisa and Inga, for letting us speak today. And hope you guys good luck and welcome to Santa Cruz.
Who else do we have? Accounting Association.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm John. I'm the president of the UCSC Accounting Association. The UCSC Accounting Association is a student organization devoted to providing its members the opportunity to discover and experience the real-world implication of an undergraduate accounting education. If you're interested in accounting, if you want to meet some other people that are doing accounting, this is a great way to do it. Throughout the year, we also organize recruiting events, networking events. We often have guest speakers from different companies in the area. We also host company tours. Last year we had one at Google. And if you want to know more, find us on Facebook at UCSC Accounting Association. We'll also be at Cornucopia today at 5:55 p.m. if you have any more questions. Thank you.
Thank you, John. How about Gesher Group? Zach, are you with us?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hi,
Sure.
everybody. My name is Zach Solanas. I'm the president of Gesher Group. I just wanted to, I know we're running short on time, so I'll make this quick. So I hope everybody's, having a good year so far. I hope you guys are all gonna have a great year, even being online. These social orgs definitely help a lot with connecting people, and we're trying to make the best of it by connecting online with everybody and building a framework for everybody to really meet each other. So Gesher Group is the premier consulting group on UCSC's campus. We're a full student organization, so all of our consultants are students. We all work to learn how to better be consultants and gain real world experience that we can apply into working or applying for real jobs or applying for internships We've been around since 2013 or 2014. We've worked with businesses such as GoPro, such as Disney. We're working with Hilton this quarter. We have real projects with these companies where it's not like, busy work or anything. We're given projects with deadlines that can be great resume fodder for, applying for real jobs. And it can be a great connection into actually working at those companies as well. Our mission is to bridge the gap between the classroom and the workplace. And that means sort of taking the skills that you learn in the workplace and taking the skills you learn in the classroom and bringing them into projects where they're actually applicable. We give students, real projects, like I said. They're not anything busy. It's just, usually you work with the client, you determine on what work is feasible and what they need to get done. Usually these are marketing projects, business development, or as of recently, data analytics or data science projects, where we kind of go in and we look at their whole customer base. We look at, how they're doing as a business, especially with COVID-19. It's been pretty tough to, figure out, to help these clients out. And we'll look at their data and give them suggestions based off our experience. We do all our work pro bono, so we don't get paid. We do get paid with connections and with experience. So we also have company tours, or we've had company tours in the past, Tesla and Google. We have a huge alumni network from people who work at EY, Deloitte, Tesla, Google, Microsoft. The list goes on. You can check out our LinkedIn and see where most of our company alumni end up working. We also have, like I said, a curriculum for data science and data analytics, as well as business development. So whatever track you're interested in, you can learn more about from our experienced directors. And the applications are open to anyone, no matter what major or what year. And we've got, a diverse group of majors. Most of them are econ, CS, math, bio, and psychology. But we've had like philosophy majors join. We've had majors like across the board. It's a great way to meet other people as well. We still have a very large social aspect. We're not just all work. We're trying to do some virtual social gatherings and some safe social distant gatherings as well for the people who are in Santa Cruz currently. Our applications are open from today until October 7th at 9 p.m. And we're going to be having interviews that weekend afterwards. I'll send out some links and you can check us out. Also come by Cornucopia at 5:10 to 5:50 today and ask us questions. We'll be there. Thanks, y'all.
Great, thank you. And then before we go on to Slugs Fund, I just want to say that I know we're going to run out of time, but we're going to stay and finish our presentations. If you can hang with us, and then if we don't get through all the questions, we'll make sure that we answer and send everyone the questions with the answers. Okay, so do we have a Dariush, if I'm saying that right, for Slugs Fund?
Yes, hello. I'm Dariush Qureshi, the president of Slugs Fund Investment Group. So our club is focused on investing in like the financial markets. We have general meetings to basically discuss like weekly news for the markets. We also teach new stuff every week. We have various activities like stock pitches and other group activities where you can get together and basically use what you're learning in our club or what you already know to basically help build your understanding for like investing in stocks and stuff like that. We're going to be, I'll just cut this short, but we're going to be at the Cornucopia at 4:35 p.m. So if you guys want to come check us out there, we'll be glad to talk to you and answer any questions you have. Thank you.
All right. Can we move on with the slides maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we already covered that. So other opportunities. We have UC is running a great program that's called UCDC. It's basically an internship program in Washington, D.C. You basically take a seminar and intern with a federal agency. You would meet other students from the other UCs. So that's also a great benefit of that program. And of course, it's a fantastic resume builder, and way to make connections. That's the way to get a job after graduation. This program is now administered through the Study Abroad office on campus. So if you have any questions, you can go to their website and find out more information. A similar program is UC Center Sacramento. The difference would be it's in Sacramento, not DC, and you would be interning with a state government agency rather than you know, the national agencies. From what Lisa and I kind of gathered is that they may provide a little bit more assistance in finding internships. The Sacramento program, maybe with UCDC, you would be more on your own finding, you know, the opportunities. But both are great programs. We've never talked to anybody who said it was a waste of their time. You know, these are, you know, the programs that really make a difference for your education. So maybe next slide. We have teaching practicum, so mostly in the accounting classes. The sections are led by undergraduates. So if you've done really well in an accounting course, you may be contacted by Lisa to see whether you'd be interested in leading a section. Again, yeah.
Sorry, just real quick. I wanted to say this in our last session. If we email you, even if you're not interested, a response saying, sorry, I'm not interested is so appreciated, because we both send out so many emails and we do our best to get to your email between the two of us every day. And so that we're just asking the same. So even a quick, because I do send out hundreds of emails looking for students for opportunities, just a quick response, yes, I'm interested, no, thank you, would be awesome. Thanks.
Then we also have professors who employ or give undergraduates the opportunity to work with them. That's Ajay Shenoy. He has an income dynamics lab. You'd be basically looking at income data from India. And you could earn academic credit for doing that. Christian Lopez Vargas and Dan Friedman have an experimental economics lab that's called LEAPS Lab. Basically, students play games and participate in experiments, and you can also earn actual cash by participating. I mean, I guess it's not happening now with the social distancing, but probably Ajay Shenoy might be. So if you're interested in any of these programs, we always recommend that you contact the professors directly.
Yeah, and LEAPS might be doing it remotely. I have no
remote,
idea.
yeah.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Peer advising program, it's a great opportunity if you're interested in helping your fellow students, give advice, you know, lead them in the right direction. So that's also for academic credit. And then we have a master's program in applied economics and finance as Professor Spirat already pointed out. It's a great way of deepening your knowledge in empirical economics and finance. So those are highly sought after skills in the workplace that will earn you, you know, high salaries. And then we also organize faculty and undergraduate quarterly events, which gives you an opportunity to interact with the faculty and other students on a more, you know, casual level, and to, you know, get to know some of the professors maybe on a more personal level.
So you'll get emails about those events, but what I would also recommend is if you go on our events page on our website, we also post all of our events there, so you'll have a way to RSVP.
Yeah, so the department has greatly increased the online courses that we offer. So both introductory micro and macroeconomics are have online versions. 10A, 10B, the introductory accounting courses are offered online. You can see usually when they're being offered. And then 100A, the intermediate microeconomics has an online version, as well as Econ 133, security markets and financial institutions, which is one of the classes required for business management majors. You will have to take either 101, 133, or 135. And a lot of students take 133 over summer. And then Econ 161A, one of the very popular business electives, marketing, is also offered online. With any of the online courses, students still have the opportunity to interact with the faculty and teaching assistants, via Zoom now. But it's not just online lectures that you listen to. If you have questions, you can definitely ask those in person in section. What's really important is UCSC offers a ton of additional resources, and it's basically up to you, though, to search those out. So both the faculty and the TAs in all our classes hold office hours, and it's highly recommended that you attend those. Especially if you're interested in graduate school after attending UCSC, it's super important to attend the office hours, because that's basically the only way of making that personal connection to a professor that can then write you a letter of recommendation. If you just attend the class, and even if you do extremely well in the course, without having talked to the professor, they will not be able to write you a recommendation that will help you at all in getting into graduate school. So very, very important to reach out and try to make that connection. Our peer advisors, there's the email. If you have any questions about particular classes, they are the best resource you can use. They will help you with schedule planning as well. And they're just, Lisa and I couldn't do our job without them. So
yeah. No.
Take advantage of them. MSI tutoring, that's modified supplemental instruction. So they offer small tutoring sections. You will probably have to sign up for them, but that's a great way, especially in the Econ AM 11B course in the fall, or Econ 100A, 100B, 113, all of the big, foundational courses, they all have MSI sections. So definitely check that out if you need that extra help. DRC Center, they are in charge of special testing accommodations, another great resource. And then of course the Career Center. They put on career fairs. They have individual advisors that you can visit if you have any questions about career. So you should probably get started on that as soon as possible.
We're not going to play the videos.
Yeah.
We'll just
talk about it. Study abroad is, in my opinion, one of the greatest things you can do if you have time. For transfer students, probably fall quarter of next year would be a good opportunity, because if it's most of the universities on a semester system, so if you don't go fall, it would be winter and spring that you're missing, and then potentially you would miss graduation in the spring. So a lot of the programs right now are suspended. Hopefully they'll come back online. So if you're interested in study abroad, and global econ students have to study abroad, just you know, keep in touch with the study abroad office, and there's the link right there. And we also have a direct exchange program with Autonomous University Barcelona. The main difference there is that you can use more courses from abroad towards major requirements. For that program, you can use 3. For any other EAP program, it would be 2 from abroad that can apply towards major requirements. Next. Again, another video about UCDC. Careers in economics, the sky's the limit, pretty much. I mean, that's the great thing about an econ major. I mean, basically, any field that you're interested in is open to you. A great, I think there's the LinkedIn. We have a UCSC LinkedIn group, UCSC Economics LinkedIn. This is also a great way to network with recent graduates. We have, I mean, basically mostly recent graduates and current students, those 862 members. So basically every industry, every company is pretty much represented. So you could message people through that if you had questions about working at a certain company.
That's also, I'll just chime in real quick. That's also another way that we get information to you instead of sending you mass emails. I do send you opportunities, but joining our LinkedIn will also post jobs and positions there instead of mass mailing you. So your best opportunity is to just to join it. So.
Yeah. So skills you want to acquire. So ability to use digital tools and technology, ability to interpret, visualize, and communicate data and analytics, and the ability to understand business and management and design. So those are things you want to look at and try to acquire. And a lot of our, you know, classes definitely build those skills. As Professor Spira recommended, you know, many great classes are offered by the CS department in terms of, you know, programming skills and data and analytics. So take a look at those. Career Center. Lisa, you want to talk about Meet the Firms?
Sure, Meet the Firms, mark your calendars. Hopefully you'll be hearing about this if you're in accounting courses, but absolutely plan on attending this event. It's being held by way of handshake, of course, remote, but it's an opportunity to network, meet companies, put your name in the hat, depending on what areas of interest. Even if, you know, depending on your work experience, if you don't have any, I think it's a great opportunity to just meet with representatives and say, hey, Google, what would you look for in someone if I were interested in your positions? Maybe you'll get tips on areas that you need to work on.
Sorry, I didn't understand. Sorry. But I found something related. Do you want to know what makes me the ideal candidate for this position?
Technology is wonderful, right? When it's pretty funny. Sorry, I have a home apparatus. I'm not going to even say the word again. Anyway, so an opportunity to attend, network. We highly, highly recommend it, and it'd be nice to get. This is specifically mostly all of our majors, so I'd love to just blow it out this year. Anyway, go ahead. Next slide, Joseph. All right. Again, we do virtual advising Monday through Friday, 9 to 12 and 1 to 3. Inga and I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. Sorry, I wish 9 to 5. 8 to 5. So you can email us. The peer advisors mostly work 9 to 12 and 1 to 3. You met them briefly. Take advantage of them. Please don't be shy. We all will do Zoom appointments with you if that's what you need. So yeah, again, we're in engineering too when we actually get to be in person again. And then final questions. I think, Jacqueline, are there any burning questions we should answer right now, or should we?
Okay. If you were admitted as a business major, but you want to declare econ math, what's the process?
You're not declared. The good news is that you're not declared yet. So you're coming in as proposed. However, it could be tricky depending on what math you've completed. So it's easy to change your major, but we want to make sure that because the econ math is very specific math, we'll need to check that for you. So reach out to us.
And then UCDC requirements.
It's applications. By application, they take some sophomores, but it's really open to juniors and seniors. I would say to use your web browser. I'm going to make sure I don't say that word again, and search for it, and you'll find their information on the campus website.
We don't really have that many questions, so I can just read the other ones if we have time.
Does everyone want to hear the questions and answers? Are we good to keep going?
There's
okay,
like,
we'll just keep going.
Okay, so requirements for a master's program here.
Alan, you want to take that one?
Yes, I do. Make sure I'm on. Yep, there I am. Yes, the master's program, typically what you want to do is you want to start by really doing well in 113, that's Intro to Econometrics, and then 100A and 100B, Intermediate Micro and Macroeconomics. Those are kind of like the courses that everyone teaches across the various universities, whether here or elsewhere. And so those are pretty comparable. And then after that, what you want to do is you want to focus, at least take a number of additional quantitative classes. For your disciplinary communication requirement, there's 104, which is called Is There Truth in Numbers? And that's one where you're doing writing, you're writing briefs, but you're also learning more quantitative techniques and kind of learning from the most recent advances in empirical work. So that's good for a master's program. Generally, you want to signal that you have technical abilities and you've done well in those classes. Though I will say that if you take the standard economics curriculum and the standard business economics curriculum or global economics curriculum, and you do well in those important classes that deal with empirical work and are kind of above the lower division level, so at the upper division level, typically the application is favorable. Right, and so it's not like we have a certain amount. I mean, we have a certain number of people we can admit every year, but we really want to give people an opportunity at UCSC and also elsewhere in the state of California to take another year and improve their skills. So we really do try to find a diverse set of students in terms of their background and also their level of training, and kind of bring everyone together and work in an intense year together on quantitative topics. So if you have any further questions for me about that, I'm happy to always answer them. But really what you want to do is you want to do well in your econ kind of core classes, 113, 100A, 100B, and then if possible, take more technical classes after that to further make yourself stand out, like econ 114, econ 104. Some people take other math classes as well. And those are the things that are going to make your application stand out. But we're really excited to have as many UCSC students as possible, as long as the grades are good and that you're doing well in those core classes. So happy to talk further about that. Thanks.
Okay, and then what's the process of declaring an accounting concentration?
Okay, so we have declaration of major advising sessions every quarter. So you can look on our website and sign up for one. Basically, if we see accounting, you want to let us know, first of all, the peer advisors and Inga and I, that you want to do the accounting concentration so that we can make sure that you have all the courses required on your plan. And then it's a process for Inga and I to code you with the concentration. So just attend a session and let us all know that what your plan is, and we'll make sure that we do that for you.
And then this one we kind of already answered. What email should we use to reach out about declaring our major?
So you can use the general Econ UGrad Core is the best email to reach out to. And then the lead peer advisor typically will be farming those emails out to the lead peer advisors and other peer advisors. But Econ UGrad Core is the best one if you can't attend a session. Otherwise, just sign up for a session, and then you don't have to send an email. Whatever works best for you. We declare students all year round. Some other departments don't do that. They only declare students up until the deadline. We have too many students to do that, and I've never agreed with that as far as halting someone's career and access to potential courses, because there are some courses you have to be declared in order to take. Again, with transfer students, if you're coming in as a junior transfer versus sophomore, you have until winter quarter to declare, but why wait? Go ahead and do it this quarter. That's what I say.
And then what's the easiest way to map out all of our classes ahead of time?
I mean, on the Econ website, if you go to, there's a link, planners, forms and planners, and there are planners for transfer students. So that gives you a pretty good idea of what classes to to take. But again, the peer advisors are a great resource for schedule planning.
And then isn't that also in the general cataloging? There's sample planners in the general.
Yeah, there's also, yes, sample planners too. Yeah.
You have a couple of ways to access those planners.
And then where's this going to be posted, like the recording? Are we emailing it out, or are we posting it on our website?
Yeah, we're going to email it out to all transfer students. And then I think that's the easiest, only because we had issues with video before, and I want to make sure that everyone gets it, but we'll email it out.
And then one last one, is field study fairly competitive? Oops, I just got another one.
I would say yes, typically field study is competitive, most competitive in spring quarter, because seniors are realizing, wow, I don't have anything on my resume, or I haven't done anything. Maybe I don't have a job opportunity, but just realize that it's offered every quarter. Again, with COVID, we're restricted more, but it's also open in summertime. So I would just say plan ahead, and it's there for you if you're interested, and do it while as long as your schedule allows. We highly, highly recommend it. So depends on the job too, I think, depending on competitiveness. There are some positions that fill up quickly versus others. So.
And then are
the ones in finance, for example, would probably, they would be probably the more competitive ones. We have a few finance ones, and they're more competitive.
And then will there be, like, in the email, will we upload the PowerPoint itself so they can click the links and watch the videos, or are we going to post that somewhere?
We will figure it out as a team together. We'll make sure that you have, we'll make sure that you have the links either embedded, or we'll spell out the link for you. Yeah.
And that's all I have. Does anyone else have any other questions they want to type in the chat?
If not, okay. Thank you for attending and hanging there with us. Thank you, team, everyone, peer advisors, Alan, Inga, for attending. And then hopefully we will see you all soon and be talking to you. Welcome again to UC Santa Cruz.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Good luck.
Bye, everyone.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.